We're back again with another edition of Felons Talk. And I was just asking John Greshner, man, uh, about Lucky Granger. His real name is Matthew Granger. And him, and who was the other dude who killed that cop, man?
Scotty Fountain.
Scott Fountain. I guess just them two, right?
Yeah, it wasn't no relationship to Clay Fountain.
I know.
But it was Scotty, yeah.
Scott
That
Fountain.
whole trip, hey, that whole fucking trip was, man, both of them dudes, Scotty Fountain was like 90 days to the door, to the
What?
pad, getting out of jail. And he was a Navy prisoner. Was in the brig in the Navy, and he just raided too much health, so they snatched him up, sent him to the feds, right?
Right.
And he was up there in Oxford, and Lucky was like short to the streets too. I don't know by how much, but he didn't have a lot of time, right?
Right.
And the shit happened down in Marion, and Klutz and Hoffman got whacked down there, and then the other two got hit.
Oh.
So what happened was they were up there and they asked the dude. They says, "Hey man, how do we join that fucking crew, right?" And to get with the Aryan Brotherhood, right?
Right.
And this dude, I believe his name was Red. Red told him, "Oh man, you gotta kill the cop." That's what they just did down there. They killed two cops and stabbed up two more and retired them, right?
Yeah.
So they said, "Oh fuck, bad." So Lucky went and got a knife and ran up in an office and started hitting this cop. But he couldn't get the job done, according to Scotty.
Right.
He couldn't get it done, so Scotty grabbed a fire extinguisher and ran up there and started beating him with the fire extinguisher too.
Right.
So they beat and stabbed the cop to death.
Wow.
And so then right after that fucking dude read that. These guys are youngsters now. That dude read that, put him in that direction.
Yeah.
Then went and told on him, right?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fucked up. The whole thing's fucked up. So then they come down to Marion, and they're, they're thinking they're in the car, right?
Right.
And they talk to, I think it was somebody, I don't know who they talked to, but Barry sent word to him, told him, hey, just, that's not how you get in this car.
Right.
It's, we respect what you did and all that, but you didn't do that for us.
Yeah.
So now they got paranoid,
Mm-hmm.
and they're thinking that they're going to get fucking moved on by the brand. Because, the cops are on a trip. They already got two dead cops at Marion. Now they got another third one dead in fucking Oxford.
And they're going to lay that at the feet.
Baby Huey rolled over after the second one, after Hoffman.
Right.
In Marion, and went to Fantasy Island and made all these fucking tales up about there's a conspiracy by the AP to kill federal officials and all that. In which 5 years later, subsequent to that shit, the cops came back around and said, "Oops, our bad. We believed that time. We know it's bullshit." So once they did that, it was these guys got paranoid, and they both locked up. They got out of control. They both fucking. What actually happened is Lucky locked up over in G Unit, and Scotty got a transfer out to. I think he was separated from us for a minute. Then he got sent up to Lewisburg. And when he was in Lewisburg, he got caught up in some type of like a semi-riot or some type of demonstration up there.
Yeah.
And he got gaffled up, sent back to Marion. When he was in Marion, he was over in like E unit or F unit, something like that. And he got fucking paranoid. He thought he seen white dudes looking at him. And he got paranoid, and he figured he was going to get hit.
Right.
So he bugged out and he ended up going down to Springfield. They put him on fucking psych meds and shit. He was all fucked up. And, and then I fast forward. I don't run into him until 2000, when I got out of the SAM cell, Special Administrative Measure cells, I was back there on a fucking investigation.
Right.
And when I got out, I was in the lower C range in like E or F unit at the ADX, right? And Lucky Granger was over D unit. That was D unit's considered a high security unit, but it's actually a PC, right? There's one tier where they got some guys on that aren't trying to be PC, but they got them locked up there and going to let them out of the main line for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
And when Tommy Silverstein got out of the SAM cells, because of lawsuits, they put him in D unit on a range that was separate from any PCs or anything, but just to isolate him. Like, he's never going to get out to a main line again. And they had Lucky Granger in that unit. And Sonny Burkett was in that unit too.
Right.
So anyhow, Scotty, I run into Scotty. He's on the main line at the ADX, but he's separated from the fellas. He's on B range. A range was set up for all the tips for the AB, ME, and DCs, not all DCs, though, but just other crews, right? And B range and C range were considered like population. And that was one of the things I negotiated. They were trying to shut me up because I'm busting them out for all their illegal activities over there. They had that super snitch unit that Danny Weeks was in,
Right.
and he came out and he brought a bunch of information out.
Right.
And told me what was going on, so I filed lawsuits and all that. I was doing a bunch of shit. So my thing was, the warden came trying to shut me up. He says, "What do you want?" I says, "Well, you got to let me out of SAM cells. You got to put me in a regular main line. You can't be having me locked down or anything." He says, and let me wreck with everybody. He says, "No, we're not going to do that." I said, "Fine, I'm going to go back doing what I do." So I'm going back and writing. A few days later, I'm writing I'm busting these motherfuckers out. A few days later, they come back and say, "Okay, we're going to try this." They put me on lower C range, the last cell. They wouldn't let me wreck with people. As soon as I got there, people are dropping dimes on me, all this bullshit. But that's when Scotty Fountain came up to my window. Because you got the window. You ever been in the ADX?
No, never did.
Okay, at the ADX, you got the windows that are vertical, not horizontal. They're vertical on the back of the wall. So he came up and was talking to me, and he was all paranoid. He told me, "I'm going to watch you like an eagle," and all that. I tell him, you got to watch shit, And he's tripping, right? And he didn't last that much longer there. And he ended up over in D unit too. You know what I mean?
With the PCs?
Where Lucky Granger was at. He couldn't handle it, and he fucking ended up locking up too. He just got paranoid. He's got paranoid.
So both of these guys are in ADX on PC now, you think? Or not?
No, I don't know where they're at now. They would be out of there by now. They'd be out of D unit by now.
Do you think? Okay, so how old is Granger? Would you?
Granger's got to be
now.
He's in his late 60s.
All right, because I'm gonna look him up, dude. Because he might be in Tucson, bro. Anybody can go to fucking Tucson. I don't care how paranoid they were, or where they, who they shit on, or whatever. That's just.
Hey, that dude I'm writing, Doug, out in Pennsylvania, he told me a friend of his, I guess DWB or something like that, had recently told him he was trying to go to Allenwood. They wouldn't let him go to Allenwood. They said they're turning Allenwood into an SNY there.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, because now the way the system is shaping up, bro, it's shaping up kind of like California was, they probably need, PC yards now. They're not just, they don't just ship motherfuckers around anymore. They got to have like a designated PC yard, like S and Y or whatever you want to call it, S and Y.
Yeah, they call them SMY, sensitive details. So they're all in these spots where they, they're separated from everything.
Right.
That's kind of like Coleman too.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it is. Yeah, you're right.
Florida, right.
That's a designated spot too. I know.
Yeah. That's where Cockeyed's at.
I know. I just found out. Yeah. They say that like if a dude leaves Coleman 1, and if I think Coleman 1 is where where that fucking Indian is right now. What's his name?
Peltier.
Yeah, he's there. He's getting a pretty
Yeah,
open.
Leonard Peltier. That's just a regular main line, right?
Oh, it is. Yeah, number one is. Yeah, it's a US it's a
Yeah.
USP main line. But they say that if you go if you leave there and they step you down to the two, you can't come back to the one. Like if you fuck up, you're not allowed to come back to the one because unless you fuck somebody up, you know. It's a
Well, yeah, because you would be deemed, no good.
right, exactly. You know, they're starting to play it
It's like in Pelican Bay, right? Pelican Bay, you got A, B, C, D, and E facilities. Okay, C and D facilities were the shoes. A and B were the mainline yards. E was too, but E was like kind of like a minimum security or something, and
yeah.
facility support yard. Workers and all the critical workers, all that shit, low level guys. A and B were the main lines. B yard was considered good. A yard was considered basically no good.
Really?
Like a kind of like not even what you would call a 50-50 yard, right? So they if you landed an 8 yard, you had 3 days. Take care of something, get the fuck off there. Otherwise, your team no good, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And then you're in the hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's another dude. There's a guy named Dubs that he's got a big YouTube channel, real big. He's a Mexican kid out of California, and he describes that type of thing in the California system where certain yards you have so much time to get off, and if you don't, you're in the hat too.
Yeah, your team no good, right?
Yeah.
Then they had the old 50-50 yards, which were kind of active and non-active, right? You had some non-active players on it, but the thing is, on yards like that, you're not going to be able to go back to a regular active yard, even from a 50-50, unless you had some really extenuating circumstances, you know what I mean?
Right.
If you were just a regular dude, you landed on a 50-50 yard, part of it's supposed to be active, and it ain't like really, really active, because if it was really, really active, the other half of the yard that ain't active, they'd be getting fucking rolled on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how that shit goes, right? So, but yeah, so Lucky, the last time I seen Lucky, I was in, the same time I seen, that other dude, out of New York, the informant out of New York, I forget his name.
Who?
Sonny Burkett.
Oh,
The
yeah.
last time I seen him was in the early 2000s.
Yeah, he died shortly thereafter.
I got snatched out of there and sent out to California, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that's when I seen Lucky, too.
Lucky and them two guys are never getting out. I mean, what they did to that
Well,
cop.
the thing is, listen, they were given like life plus 100 years or something like that, but then they were saying the numerical sentence was too big, that they had to give them life. So they both got double life. They got life for murder and life for conspiracy to commit murder. I don't know if they ever got it ran together on the, under the Sentencing Reform Act. No, if they filed on it or any of that stuff, whatever.
Right.
But the fact is, they're doing old law
Life.
federal life sentences.
Yeah.
They similar to mine. You got, if you have at 10 years, you bring 10 years, you're eligible for parole. Even if you're doing 2 life sentences that are running bow-legged, they aggregate it into a 60-year sentence to bring 30 on each one. And then once you bring 10 years, you're eligible for parole. You're not going to get parole. None of us do. But then you see the parole board, you're going to get a 15-year hit. And 15, whatever. So the thing is they would be eligible for parole a long time ago.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you've read.
I remember talking to Scotty Fountain when he kind of settled down a little bit, and he'd come by my window when he wasn't all spooked up, and he said he was trying to get out of the ADX and do another spot and show that he was not affiliated with the AB, because they were still saying you know, it's really weird. Even guys that they got on separation from the brand, they're trying to say they're still the brand and all that shit, right?
Right.
And so he was saying he was trying to get to another spot somewhere where he could maybe get his life back and get his life together, maybe get out. But the chances of him getting out, because of the nature of that case, it's not.
Well, you've read the
You know, I mean,
guidelines.
you never know, right?
No, you read the guidelines. If you kill a cop, like they can take you way beyond the 30-year max out date on that life sentence. In fact, they probably will take you all the way to till you die. They probably won't ever get a life. Maybe after 50 years, they might. You know, they beat a fucking cop to death, man, for no reason. You know. So, I mean, that's just.
Well, they beat him and stabbed him to death. They beat him and stabbed him to death to get in the car.
Yeah, for the dumbest fucking reasons, you know.
It's not even a situation like say Tommy had, right?
Yeah.
Where him and Klutz had this personal beef going.
Yeah.
And so he couldn't take it no more. He was down, solitary for a long time, sensory deprivation, motherfucking stoved up all the time, just drove all the time, the whole thing, and he couldn't take it no more, and he rolled out and killed the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's, even though, they were hating on him, when he died, they clapped and everything down in their little cop's little meeting room and shit, right?
Were you there?
So the thing is, but I mean, he had some extenuating circumstances. These Lucky Granger and Scott Fountain, they killed the cop to get in the car. They just said, how do we join that crew? They said, well, you got to kill the cop. They said, well, shit, bad. And Lucky Granger ran in, like I said, in the office first quarter to Scotty, ran in there first and got on the cop with a knife. And the cop's fighting. Naturally, he's fighting for his life. And so they're tussling, and Lucky's having a hard time getting a gun. That's when Scotty ran in. Did
the guy who got
so their thing
did the guy who set them up, that guy Red, did he snitch on him or something?
Yeah, it was like a setup all along.
Oh my God.
He told them, hey, you want to get in that crew, you got to kill the cop. They said, okay, bet. And then as soon as they did it, then he went and told them.
Oh my God.
And he didn't tell him, he was the one that told him to do it, but
yeah, obviously,
he was like, getting down first, right?
Wow.
One of them trips.
Do you know what Larry Vaughn did about with the letters and all that shit? Did you hear about all that?
Yeah, you told me about that.
That's fucking crazy. How stupid are these guys, man? How stupid are they?
I know. They didn't know any better.
Right.
All right, well, listen, man, you take care, stay up, meditate, man, relax. You're going to be all right on that surgery stuff. It's going to be okay.
All right, bro.
You know what I mean?
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
I'll call you tomorrow, man. You stay up, have a good day, be safe, and we'll talk tomorrow, all right?
All right, bro. Bye.
All right, later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
The caller has hung up.
We're done for today. I'm going to go look up, see what Matthew Granger is all about, where he's at. If he's still living, I'm pretty sure he's still alive. He's still young. Find out where he's located. What a fucking imbecile, man. God. There was no end to the stupidity. No end.